Good morning, traders, and welcome to the live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. This is the Bookmap education here. We're going to go through live order flow analysis in the markets. In the markets, up to you what you want to look at here. Obviously, we had the holiday on Monday. Now Tuesday and Friday, we'll do that. And just you should typically look at the S&P E-mini because most traders want to look at that, but we can look at whatever you guys want. Then Wednesday, tomorrow, we'll have live trading with Joseph, J Trader, stocks trader, and then live trading with Scott Pulcini, futures trader. We also have in the morning, we have Rain, who will go through live analysis for the crypto markets, and then at 11:30 we have Tom B, who will go through the live analysis again for the S&P, and that'll be daily. All right, so both of those streamers. Great education that we offer. We have an educational course, and then we have these live events to shore up all the details in that educational course. All right, so let's jump in here to... All right, the disclosure, general disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. So please know what you're getting involved with here. This is only for educational purposes. And reading the order flow within Bookmap. These are not trade recommendations. Okay, we will go through a lot of different things, as you guys know, and we've been going through recently market structure in more detail here. So we're going to continue in that vein and understand in the order flow on higher time frames what's going on. Extrapolate that and then look at lower time frames and go through as many examples as we can. That is the key in here, is to go through as many examples as we can. That's why a lot of times we look at the lower time frames so that you can get that experience. It's like playing poker. The more more hands that you play, the better you're going to be. All right, so that's the goal. And let's jump in and take a look and see what's going on. All right, so here we have the S&P E-mini, guys, and let me know if you have any questions. We can get the conversations going in here. Yep. Oh, okay, no sound. I'm sorry, in Discord there. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Sorry, guys. Okay. Well, you missed the risk disclosure, which I can go through again. And yeah, just in case here. Good morning, JC, JC Moon, Secular, Bert, and Lewis. General disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, that's out of the way. Look at the S&P in here. We're going to start again. Like I said, we've been going through market structure in detail last several webinars. All right, and we're going to be looking at the raw order flow in here to understand who's in control of the market. Now, this one's pretty simple. Looking at the S&P here, look at 930 or just before the 930 cash open. Okay, this is picture perfect. In fact, we have an area of consolidation. And before the 930 cash open, sellers came in. And pretty heavy selling drove that market lower. The cash open, we get a pullback to where it dropped from here. Okay, we don't see sellers above it. Or I'm sorry, buyers above it. We don't see like a higher high. We made a lower low here and a lower high here. Sellers are still in control. All right, now that's pretty obvious to see. But take a look at the movement here, all right, and look at also the the three elements on this Bookmap chart. So again, we're just going to start off really simply, and it's just worthy of doing this exercise time and again. Look at just one element on this Bookmap chart, just best bid and offer. Okay, you can already see so much more than candlesticks in here. You see the speed of the move right back up here again, but on low volume though. Okay, on low volume. And we'll put the volume dots on in a minute and get that context. Okay, so we're just going through market structure created by best bid and offer. This sets the foundation. We see, again, speed of the move. We know more sellers are in here. Again, speed of the move. And then again in here, okay, pretty steep pullback here. It did break this little swing here, but look how it broke it. It failed. It came back in the range, and we see more sellers. All right, so we know sellers are in control. All right, now let's put this structure in here. Now this, and I wanted to, just overlay. We'll just overlay a candlestick chart in here just for now. This is 5 minute. Yeah, that's fine. We can look at a 5 minute and start to understand the structure here. It is lacking in the candlesticks. It is because it's aggregated within that period, and then that period ends and a new period begins, and then aggregates within that period until it ends. So you really don't get the transparency in here of what's going on in the market structure, and you can see we continue to go lower here. All right, so the one pullback here, it did break a smaller structure, okay, but it failed. It came back in the range. Right, so the candlesticks in here, just want to show the difference between candlesticks and best bid and offer, and all the nuances in the details in the order flow here. Okay, it's all in here. The candlesticks is a lot harder to read. So let's take it off here, and then let's look at the raw data. That's one of the benefits here of Bookmap, is looking at. This is what professional traders like about it, is that this is not hiding anything. It's all in here. So let's put the volume dots on. Now we have our second level of context in here. Sellers, the move back up. There's some some volume in here. Okay, but it's lower. You can see it, and there's buyers in here. So this is the delta down here in the bars, or in the dots in here. They come right back in. But they bring it right back into where it dropped from here. Okay, and what do we get up here? We get sellers up here. If you want to see it go back up and maybe go above these areas, so this 39.50 here, then you've got to see buyers come in, right? And we don't. Okay, so we see sellers up here, and then there's a lot of back and forth in here. But here's where the sellers come in again. Okay, it's pretty clear, right? You can see the drop, sellers again, and then in here. Some selling, and then we get buyers come in, but it fails in here, and sellers come in again here. So we'd be looking for it to at least test down to maybe this 39.10 in here, where there were buyers previously. Okay, well, and it just blazed right through it. Okay, on some pretty heavy. We're going to see a nice stop run in there, and you can see it down here with that red line. All right, yeah. So now again, we see sellers in here. It's getting interesting now, though. We're starting to see buyers come in, and they just broke above this little swing in here. All right, so sellers still remain in control. All right, so that's what we want to determine. Now, you might be a volume profile trader, or candlestick trader, or whatever it is, but this process in here will apply to anything, and we think this can be really helpful for you. We have the volume in here in the context of the volume. Now let's add also the heat map. Okay, that's the other side of the trade. Are they getting filled in these areas? All right, so we can zoom in and kind of view these areas in here and see. Okay, so yep, they're getting filled in here. Filled in here. Also filled in these areas down here. Okay, so they are staying on the bid and getting filled. Okay, here's a nice move and stop run to the downside here. Also getting filled in this area. All right, So we know that they mean business. They are getting filled on the downside. Okay, so we're looking to see if buyers take control, and we just don't see that yet. Okay, so we stay with the downside. Right, we can see we do have a little double bottom pattern in here, kind of like you see the sellers in here, but then the buyers come back in on the second leg here, and they kind of just come up to this area here. So we're still sell side until we see something different. Okay, we need to see quite a bit of buying come in here to change our view. Okay, now note that they have bought on the bid on the way down in these areas in here. So we want to put those pieces together into the bigger picture. Right, so we just remain sell side until we see something different here. So let's see if the sellers can drop it down to about this 38.90 and then maybe down to 38.80. Okay, Bradley. Okay, enjoy. So are you new here, Bradley, to the webinar? And then if so, Bradley, we'll just let me know what sort of trading methods do you use, and we can look into it here. So I just want to cover that order flow works on all of them. Okay, well, welcome Bradley. It works on all of the different ways of trading the markets. I mean, you know, whatever it is that you're looking at, Elliott wave, Wyckoff, distribution, accumulation, markup, markdown, etc. So yeah, and so again, you know, still looking for sellers in here until we see something different, right? Okay, now I don't see any kind of opportunity in here at the moment, and we don't really call out trades. This is not a trade calling room nor a trade recommendation room whatsoever. What we do in here, though, is we look at order flow and where we think order flow will give us a higher probability movement to one side or the other. Okay, it's really back and forth in here at the moment. Okay, nice buying in here. Again, though, structure still sell side. 3,900, the figure up here. God, we've already come down more than 50 points here. So, you know, nice down day. All right, you know, one thing I want to do, good morning, Kevson. Guys, in Discord, let me know if you have any questions in here. Okay, now, see, this is something a little different here. Okay, now it's not a whole lot of buying, but things are starting to look, the shape of this is starting to look a little different. Okay, so we made a higher or kind of equal high here. Okay, but looking for, you know, our buyers going to take control of this market. Guys, if you want a review of this, you can look at last Friday's webinar regarding who's in control, and there's are several webinars on who's in control. And the way we've marked it up for years actually is just by using rectangles and saying, like, here they are, here they are, here they are, here they are, and then look for price action within this, and if buyers are going to, you know, take it back, or are sellers going to continue. Okay, so and we can look at this whole area in here as it's, you know, sellers are dominating it. They moved it away from all of these other areas in here. We could get a pullback to here. We can get a pullback even to here, okay, at like 17, 39, 17 or 18, and still be sell side basically, okay, on this time frame here. I just want to make that point. That you know, this is what we want to understand, who's moved it away from value areas. Okay, and you can see it's creating a big value area down here right now. Okay, this whole area down here. Okay, just a lot of volume trading back and forth in here. Okay, so, you know, according to like Wyckoff, for example, Well, this would be your markdown, and then this would be your accumulation phase, potentially. Okay, or is it continuation? Okay, that's what we're going to determine in the order flow. Levi, good morning. Is it Levy or Levi? Let's see here. Just not seeing much right now. Another thing in here, I don't know if you guys have seen Doug's webinar, Doug Pless. He did a webinar. I can show you where it is. Like the pants, Levi. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just want to show this here for a moment. We're having, all sorts of events and traders. You can see here's Tom B. He'll be up in another hour or so. We had an event here in German. Okay, and it is in here with Oliver. It was excellent. It does have English subtitles, so you can get something from this if you don't speak German. If you speak German, he seemed to be articulate as can be to me. Anyway, and then here's the one with Doug. Right, so Doug Pless talking about an option strategies, that he detailed out, which was really nice. Very nice of Doug to do that. And you can start to see some of it, potentially unfolding here as well. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to take it away from Doug. But it's in the webinar if you guys want to review that, and you can reach out to Doug in the Discord channel as well, and he will he's in there as a moderator. I forget what hours, but he's very active in there. Okay, so anyway, guys, we have a nice community over in Discord if you want to join us over there. Yeah, still not seeing much in here. Another thing we can take a look at in here is within this structure, what's going on? Where do we see, like what Wyckoff says as accumulation or distribution? Okay, well, we have it all here in Bookmap. You can see the limit orders, and then you can also see the aggressors. So we do see some aggressors coming in here on the buy side. Now it's not a lot. Okay, also in here. Okay, so, and you can see sellers coming in right now. So to me, this looks like sellers still remain in control, and we're going down to the bottom here of the range around this 87 level. Okay, there's a quick move. Now, these kinds of moves in here, we have to be kind of careful. That a very, very quick move and a stop run like this, and then this is what I want to cover before it gets away from us, is this can be a nice trapped volume or stop run, and we get buyers back up above it. This is our pivot point here, 92. So we can look for pullbacks, maybe even a little bit lower into here, this kind of zone, to 91 to 92 area, and look to see if do we get more sellers. Are they on the bid in here? If they are, do we get sellers trading into them? Okay, or does it repel them? See how it's repelling them right now? Okay, great. So actually looking for buyers now to trade it back up to 98, 99, and maybe the figure here at 3,900. Okay, looking for it. See the buyers coming in. See the reaction to the bid. Okay. And we're kind of looking at this whole level in here. Now, again, this is kind of that Wyckofian accumulation here. All right. So we see sellers, 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 buyers. Okay, we saw that little double bottom pattern in here. Okay. We did not break the high here. Okay. Now we are. Now we're breaking it. All right. So see how you can read the order flow in here. And let's just dim the heat map for a moment here and make it easier. So there's our move, okay, into 3,900. right? Now we just talked about this in detail. Let me know if you guys have questions about this. This is pretty strong buying coming in now. Okay, so and again, we're looking for maybe see if this is new buying coming in after accumulation period down here, and then look for pullbacks into, well, yeah, I like this kind of 07 area here, and then also all the way back up here to where those sellers came in. Okay, now look at the strong buying. Okay, so we're just talking about volume right now. Okay, but we did talk about on the way down all of these traders getting filled on the bid. Okay, so here's our break above it. Now we'll just go through the process again, I think. Okay, sellers in control, we went through that whole thing. I'm not going to do that one again. However, in here we didn't really know. We were we were saying sell side until we see something different, and then we saw something a little different. However, the structure was still sell side here. Okay, we just noted the buying coming in. Okay, then we came back down here, and this was where it got a little like wonky. We weren't really quite too sure. Again, buyers come up here. They did not break the structure. We still remain sell side, okay, until we see something different. Sellers come in, sellers come in again, and then we can even look at this area and zone in here, okay, where the buyers came in, and they're supporting it here. Now, are they supporting it in the book? This is where Bookmap can help you. So let's look at this 89 level here or so, and let's turn on the heat map. All right, so they're in here, but they're not really getting filled, okay, on the bid. We see some sellers in here, and we know that was a stop run. I'm going to get rid of the hero for now. We know that's a stop run. Okay, quick move. And then we talked about this area in here. Okay, we talked about the zone, the pullback, beautiful pullback here actually to it. Now, I know this isn't hindsight, but once we started to get back up in here, that's when we're looking for the move up into 97, 98, 99, and the figure. Or I guess 98. 99 in the figure. Okay, so now we've come up to 04 here, 05. Okay, we're looking for 07. That was our zone up here. I guess it's more like 08. Bradley calling me Mr. Pringle. All right. Very, very formal. And respectful. No, you can call me Bruce. It's fine. Modify your analysis when looking at individual stocks. Yeah, we'll do that as well. Okay. All right, guys. So the moves continued. Okay, we've come up into our 08 area. Right. All right. Now we saw this whole thing unfold here. Okay, and it's continuing so far. Okay, where is it going? Well, I really like the 08 area here, now we need to see if we get more continuation here, more buyers in here, or where it might pull back. Okay, well, it could pull back to, in this little pocket in here, so around maybe 03.5. Also this little area where it broke into and then out of and through here, around 3,900 the figure, these other areas. So now let's look at it on this other time frame in here, and let's mark it up. Buyers taking control. Okay, we even saw it down here. This is where we originally saw it. Okay, the potential trap. We were going sell side here until we saw the pivot. Once we saw the pivot and noted the buyers, and we noted them again, that's when we're looking for the move up here. Okay, now they've taken it and moved it away from this whole area here. All right. Okay, again, buyers in here. Okay, buyers in here. All right, so that's where we're looking for these pullbacks, potentially here, like our 03.5, potentially here at 3,900, and then also down here at, well, yeah, 95, or our original pullback all the way back down here to this kind of 92-ish level. All right, so we're just looking, right? Now, other people have the same ideas. Look at the liquidity in here at 3,900. Bradley, what stocks would you like to take a look at? Was PMI today, Rob? Oh, geez. Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, 10 a.m. Yeah, that's very telling. But you know, look at the move though, right? Positive number. Here's the data. Here's the kind of dark kind of shadow around the release, and here's the move down into high liquidity all the way through. You know, they're staying in the book here and getting filled. All right, so you know this is why this area 08 right here is super important. Okay, this is, you know, we had the PMI. Okay, we had the the move into this high liquidity here that stayed in the book now, and we traded right back to it. Okay, and we marked this up in advance. Okay, so if we got the break here, these would be the areas in here. All right, so and we're looking for our pullbacks in here now too. Okay, and we marked up our 03, and then also this one here, and it just didn't quite get to the figure here, not yet. Okay, let's see if we can get our buyers right back up to 08, looking for it. I'd love to see it try to get up a little bit higher, maybe 10. Yeah, not having it. So some back and forth in here right now. Here's something interesting. Look at the bid. Reaction to it. Buyers, looking for buyers up here. And look, there we go. Let's see it. Let's see them. They pulled that liquidity here at 05. And then they're back in. I'm looking for the bid to show some more interest here. These guys are pulling here, so then we just need our aggressors, and then the move up into 08 and a quarter, and then 10. Okay, yeah, PMI and then ISM at 10, 9:45 and then 10. Okay, yeah, thanks, JC. Okay, looking for it, guys. Let's see if we can get it here. Might have to come back down one more time here and then come back up. So that would be back to kind of the figure-ish area, 101 maybe. But looking for those buyers to come in and come back up into 08 and a quarter here. Okay, just based on the order flow. Okay, maybe a little lower, maybe 7.5 here. This is where, see, the sellers came in right here. Okay, at 10, just about 10:30. NVDA, sure, we can take a look at NVIDIA. Staying in the book, Nick, is meaning that the liquidity, like at 3,900 here, there's 186, 187 contracts, whatever. Are they staying in the book, and are they going to get filled? Okay, that's what we want to determine. Because otherwise, you know, we have a kind of an area here of, you know, demand. And see how we got a little bit of both actually out of that. This is the beauty here. We can see all this and determine right? So did they stay in the order book? Yeah, they did. They stayed in here and started to get filled. But look how many out of here. We had 132. Remember, we had 187 earlier. Well, they pulled a lot of it as price is coming down. Now it's 109. And now we're starting to see transactions. 26. Only 26 traded there. Okay, 27. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Okay, now what traded? Well, 151. Okay, so yeah, most of that stayed in the order book in here. All right, or we can see the transactions in here. This is how you, this is what we want to determine. Is there buying interest? Do they stay in this order book here? Okay, so earlier here we were looking for this move a little bit higher, kind of 08 or 07.5 here. Just couldn't make it. All right, so just not enough buyers in here. Let's see if we get them now, though. We pulled back finally to this area in here. Now, don't forget, who's in control here on this smaller time frame? Okay, buyers. Okay, and this is a pullback to 3,900. So we're still looking to see if we get our buyers in here. Okay, here they come. Now, let's see if they can stream right back up into here where it previously auctioned off. And if there's even more that can finally get up into 08 and then maybe our 10 level here. Okay, see, these guys seem to want to trade, but I'll bet you these guys pull their liquidity here. We'll see. That's what we want to understand. Like, do they really want to trade? And that's what we're determining in the auction in here. Any questions on this? Okay, not bad. There's our 06, and look at the volume, still looking for higher. Still looking for higher, guys. Yep, there it goes. 08, 09, still looking for higher. See if we can get, let's see if we can get all the way back up to here, which is what? Our 16.5. Let's just zoom in here. Let's just really confirm it. All right, let's just be a little more precise. Yeah, where do those sellers really start to come in and move this here? So let's zoom in here. This isn't bad. Boy, I would say it's actually maybe a little bit lower here, maybe 15-ish, 14.5, 14 to 15. Let's call it 14 to 15 in here. Or yeah, potentially also here at 16.75. Okay, so let's mark up our lines. And let's look for it here and here. Well, we'll just look at that whole zone actually. Well, we'll put one more line in here. 15. All right. So that's what we're looking at. And now we can get rid of this guy. All right. And we can get rid of this guy here too. Okay. Guys, we're already blasting through that. Wow, what a beautiful move. Jeez, turn around for a second. All right, guys. Well, anyway, beautiful move unfolded. I don't know if it was clear for you guys seeing this, at least for the test back up into this zone. And you can see now, like, look how it paused in here, right in our zone. Okay, and then look who took control above that area. All right, so again, noticing who's in control and can they still take control from the market here. Okay, so our sellers over here, this is one of the rectangles I got rid of. I deleted this one in here. Here was our accumulation. Okay, and now we see our move. Okay, so this would be the markup phase in here from this accumulation period down here. Okay, that's classic Wyckofian analysis there. Okay, beautiful move into this structure up here as well, and then kind of pulled back now. All right, so anyway, guys, like yeah, nice move, and looking for still continuation. Maybe we can get up into 30. Let's just take a quick look here. I mean, we're going to get a pullback, some pullbacks in here. That was a big move. It was also a big stop run here. But now this bigger picture in here. Okay, now we mentioned that sellers being in control here, right? Okay, so now we're looking at some of these other pockets. They're still in control in the bigger picture here for the day, right? It's just this other little area here from 10 o'clock onward. We saw the back and forth in here, and then the buyers coming in, stepping in on a smaller time frame. Okay, so some nice point moves in here, guys. This is, you know, it's moving nicely. I like it when it's beautiful when the ES moves like this. You know, it's painful when it doesn't. You know, 2 to 3 points instead of like, you know, 20 points. This moved 20 points. So that's a beautiful 20-point move on up. We noticed it here. Okay, back up into 3,900. Right now we can go over also strategies in here, how you want to manage some of these things. And I'll cover that in a minute here. All right, so we'll come right back to that. I want to jump over to NVDA. I've got it here. So, okay, here it doesn't work for that. That's fine. Okay. Guys, very, very similar. You know, can you see it? In fact, here, I'm going to use this tool here in Bookmap, zoom by drag, and then left click, hold, and then drag it to the current market. And we're just going to get that big volume dot out of the picture here. So we're going to look at the volume other than what was right at the open. All right, and then now we're going to go through that same process in here. First, you know, who's in control, who's moving the market, and we can take a look at it. Sellers, you know, sellers in here, buyers in here, buyers in here. Sellers taking it down. Here's where they took control though, again into these lower areas. All right, and again, this is very similar to what we just saw in the S&P. A little bit different on the bottoming pattern in here, but this is where the buyers came in. Okay, so same idea. Now you guys, this is why we're going over this again and again and again. We've talked about trap volume. Let me show you some of the webinars. And I'm just bringing this up for anyone who's new in here. If you want to review some of these concepts, we go through them in detail. So we can go through the live streaming events in here. Okay. Now again, these live streaming events in here, the Bookmap live analysis in here that I do is the foundation. All right. And then we open that up, the floodgates for other traders, Tom B, Scott Pulcini, J Trader, Rain, whomever. We do pro trader webinars. We do other events. So we bring them in so you get the foundation from us, and then let these guys, you know, these guys are the rock stars, and they'll take it further. Okay. So look, you know, Tom B, volume profile in detail. Scott, he uses volume profile, but he uses something very interesting using stops and icebergs, looking for big market events, and then taking those big market events and then looking for direction. J Trader, you know, going through his way of looking for pullbacks and also small caps and many strategies there in small caps. All right, so anyway, what I want to go through is we'll continue on down here. Yeah, reading market structure, momentum, trend trading, the importance of market structure and order flow. We've been covering this a lot, reading the order flow and who's in control versus your trading bias. This was not a good webinar for me, but good to learn from how to curb your bias. Okay, and just read the order flow. The chart is telling you. Okay, we went through that whole process in here on that ES, and it told us something. And instead of holding on to like, no, I'm going short. Understanding candlesticks, part 1 and part 2, or at least, yeah, here's part 1 and part 2. Okay, market structure and candles. Okay, let's see. Market structure, point of control, momentum, who's in control, price action, who's in control again here. Okay, so you can go through these. So the one I was looking for, oh, trapped traders. Look for the ones in here. Here, just do a quick search. So here we go. Here's one from JTrader on traps. Okay, here we go. Traps, icebergs, false breakouts. Again, market structure, traps, trading traps, stop runs. Okay, so just want to show you all these things because this, if you want more on this, we've covered this so many times. You will start to recognize it, notice it, and then look for it. Okay, we were looking sell side until this started to unfold. Look at the beautiful pullbacks to those areas in here. Okay, look at how the structure finally did break in here, right? So these are the things we're starting to look at. And then you get this beautiful move unfolded here. And now this is NVDA in here. So it's very similar. The market, it broke structure in here actually compared to the ES. I guess we'd be looking maybe at a bigger structure up here. This is just, it's almost the same though. Okay, now look at the high liquidity in here too. Okay, they got filled in here and in here. Okay, at 135 and then also here at 135.50. Didn't quite make it to 136. Okay, 9:30 cash open. The seller's still in control in the bigger picture though. Okay, you want to look at crude? We can take a quick look at crude. Let's jump back to the ES and see what's going on in here. Well, looks like a continuation pattern. But you know, let's just take a look though. Let's go through the same process in here. All right, so we know the bigger picture here. On this time frame from 10:38 onwards here. Okay, and then we'd be looking for pullbacks to the same zones that we just blasted through when we turned our head and marked those up in here. Okay, so these zones in here, so kind of this 18 or 17, 16 and a half, 15 and 14. Right, so looking for pullbacks maybe into those areas here. Okay, what about in here? Okay, well, we even go through the process down in here and read it. But look at the selling in here, not bad. Okay, buying is not bad. Selling again, not bad. I mean, it's really kind of all over. Okay, this is why we stay with the structure in here. Now, it did make a slightly lower high in here, but it's making a higher low here. Okay, so just still going with the buy side until we see something different. I still see buyers coming in here, and I see them coming in here now. All right, so still looking for this to continue, okay, up into where? This is where we start to target high liquidity, 27, 30, okay? Looking for the move up into those areas. Okay, now, one of the things in here, and there's our move. Still looking for 30. Okay, there goes 29 and something. There's 30. 105 traded at least to 30. There's 30 and still higher. All right, let's just zoom out here. Let's get our bigger picture again. Okay, we're at this area here, looking for the next one up here. We kind of drew where sellers took control here, 35. 40 up here is, this is getting kind of interesting. It's really up here. I don't know what that liquidity is doing at 40 so much. I don't really see it in terms of our structure, but this one's good here, just around 35. And then I like this one up here around 44 or so. Okay. Yeah, that was beautiful, huh, Bert? Yeah, I mean that was really nice. You saw that as soon as you saw the breakout in the book flipping, where you went long and caught a good scalp. Yeah, I mean you could still be in this. This is not a scalp. I mean if you're trading scalps, great, and if it's working for you, it's fantastic. Just continue doing what you're doing. But whatever works for you, right? We're going through the order flow on multiple time frames in here. Excellent, Bert. Yeah, your strategies is confluence on what you learned here in these webinars. Hero Doug, Tom Volume, and planning with David. David, we got to do a webinar with you. The amount of free education here is worth the Bookmap cost itself. We think so. I've been thinking that for years, that we offer incredible deal on education. And we're bringing more people in too. I'll reach out to you, David, and bring you in, and if you want to go through an afternoon event, doesn't have to be like a pro trader webinar or anything. I don't know if you're in here, David, but if you are, then yeah, let's do something. I'll reach out. Okay. So let's see, how about oil? Yeah, let's take a look over at oil. Is there any way to have Bookmap draw levels from CSV? Yes, there is. Geo Capital. I'll show you where that is. Okay, guys, I don't want to show too much on this. I'll answer your questions, but we're here for the order flow and the live analysis, so I don't want to deviate too much from that. I want to look at oil. I just want to show you where you can find these things quickly. Right, just for references. So we'll come over here, YouTube page, scroll down, bonus materials in here, and then features and components. This playlist here you'll find very helpful. So view full playlist, click on that, and then let's just do a quick search in here for Control F in the browser and look at note, and here it is, notes. It's this video here, columns, custom notes, and cloud notes. It's the cloud notes feature that you're going to want to use, or custom notes. I'm sorry, you can use both. All right, guys, so let's come back in here. Beautiful move up in here to our level that we marked up for good reason. Funny enough, though, the liquidity was here. Okay, and then it's a little off on our levels as well. Like we're looking at 45, 44 up here, and then they're up here at 40. But I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It was a beautiful move to our level here. Let's see if we can get more buyers yet again up here, and then a breakout up into 40. 40 liquidity, but our level is actually 43, I guess. All right, let's look at crude. Okay, I got the V contract up here. Let's see what the liquidity looks like. I'm not sure if this is the correct contract. Let me take a quick look here. not it. Here we go, guys. All I do for these things is looks like it is, they just put this in here. See the CME. This trades on the NYMEX, of course, but like you know, it's CME group. They bought up everything basically. The CME in here saying it's the V contract, but let's just verify it. All I do is a search very quickly for CME volume CL, and this is one of the options that pops up. We'll click on here, volume and open interest. Okay, all the contract specs are in here, and you should know your contract specs. You should know exactly what you're trading. Now let's look at the volume in here, also open interest. Okay, it's just getting ready to roll. It's getting there. It's still got some a few days in here to go, but you can see it, right? November contract right here. Okay, so at the close, the open interest was 151. You can see the change in here, also the open interest. So yeah, we're getting ready to roll. The total volume though is still, you know, in October, right? So just let you know about that, and also let you know that rollover period can be very challenging. I feel I know traders like FT71, they do not trade during that period because of the you know, the analysis. There's other traders doing other things. Okay, so we're starting to see some of that behavior in here in the liquidity. Right, so crude oil in here. Yeah, let's see. You know, move up into here. Maybe you can move a little higher. Maybe this 87.30. Let's just zoom out a little bit more here. This is kind of all over the place. You know, let's go through that same process and structure, market structure. Okay, and who's in control in areas in here. Let's just go through the whole process. Okay, take it all off and then go with the rectangles in here. Okay, see how this, you know, the buyers take it up here, but they're, you know, really tested in here. Okay, and then you can see kind of a flip in here, you know, above this area, below this area, it flips again above it, retest, and goes back higher. Okay, so buyers in control, but we're still retesting down here. Okay, maybe this is a better zone or area to take a look at. Okay, buyers in here, we're talking about moving on up into maybe 30 up here, or 25, somewhere around in here, and retest that. Okay, so anyway, not a trade recommendation, and we're just looking at structure in here with just best bid and offer. Now let's put the volume dots on. Okay, and then now we're gonna, this is really a really key understanding in the order flow. Okay, so look who's in control. Sellers take it here, and they're still kind of taking it down here at being tested here by the buyers. So again, like it's both, it's back and forth in here right now. Okay, so I don't really have a view in terms of order flow. One more element though, like to really can help confirm things, is going to be the liquidity. So here we go, and it's kind of a mess too. Let's just zoom vertically here. Boy, it's really just kind of a mess. So that's my analysis. Geo, it's a mess. Sorry, that's all I have for you though. I don't really see too much kind of unfolding here. This move here is really nice by the buyers, but you can see we've been below it several times in here. All right, let's jump back. Let's look at this ES. Beautiful move, guys, into 40. Okay, and that liquidity in here. Okay, so there was no reason to be, I mean, look, this is hindsight now, but we did not say sell side, right? Just want to verify, you know, we did not say sell side. We're looking for continuation in here, buy side. Okay, we did not see anything in here that told us there, if we got pullbacks, it would be into these zones in here. and it kind of, you know, bounced off our upper zone in here of around 16 and a half. Okay, and this is where the buyers creeped in here and then really moved it quickly up into 30, 35, and then our next level was 40. And our next level, we liquidity's here, the supply is up here, but you know, we still have this area what has not been tested up here, okay, in our 43 level, and there's not much up there anyway. We do have the figure up here at 39.50. Okay. Buyers coming in again. I don't know. I don't know what I think of that. I mean, it's not bad buying, so maybe we can come up a little bit higher here. This level 33, maybe a little bit higher, our 30 kind of 5-ish level. Aloha, Crypto Surfer. Yeah, 35 could be a good area due to some of these transactions. And this is our SVP column, session range volume profile. So this is for the entire session. What we're viewing in here though is the chart range volume profile, this one. Okay, so and we're just trying to, buyers are trying to get through the top of it here and try to get back up into probably, you know, maybe here, but I like it a little bit lower here in this 35 or 36 level in here. Okay, stops and icebergs. Stop runs to the upside. Icebergs starting to get filled on the downside here, or on the offer. Not much to write home about. I mean, that's 1,000, but from up here on down. Here we go. All right, so buyers coming back in. All right, buyers, let's see you break it here. Should be able to break it. 35, 36, maybe 40 here, but not looking for too much here on the buy side unless it really picks up here. Not looking for much though. Okay, and you can see it. All it did was break up to about 35, and it were right back down. In fact, guys, you know, this is where we need to be really careful. And we need to really understand if the move is unfolding or not, because this can turn into one of those traps again, and we come right back down to 28. Okay, that's what we want to understand. Okay, now they seem to be supporting it here, or there's no support on the bid. There's a little bit of support on the bid now, but did they buy up here? No. Okay, all right, let's see the reaction here. Are they supporting on the bid? Not really. Okay, so watch out here. Okay, look for the sellers to try to stream it down to 28. Let's see here, Leroy. Weak buying, they will push it up a bit and imprint a double top, and the market will revert back. Yep, kind of seeing that right now. Exactly. Your trading method, classic man, is trading is looking at how price reacts at prior open, high, low, close, floor trader pivots, and VWAP. Okay, yeah, I would really recommend or encourage you to look at the order flow around those areas. Okay, that's all. Stick with what you got, but look for the order flow to support it. Okay, let's put a VWAP on here, guys. Our idea here was a move streaming down back into 28. It came back down to just this liquidity here at 30, and the buyers are coming back in, and we're above this little area here. But I don't know. I still don't. This does not look convincing again. So they really need to pick it up and see that buying up in here. That's going to stream higher up into 40 and maybe 50 right at that point. Okay, it's not there. Here they come. Actually, it's looking pretty good now. All right, so let's see. How does it relate to all of this over here? That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, I'm looking for 40 here. Again, not a trade recommendation, especially at these levels. This is something that I would have just let. I would have missed it. You know, I would have let this kind of float by here. And on a higher time frame, it's probably still just be in it. You know, maybe I got out at around 40 or something, but you know, still looking for a move back up here to 40 at this point. It looks clearer now, right, on this time frame. Okay, so let's zoom in. Okay, there it is, guys. These are again traps. You know, start to understand these areas and then look for stop runs like this up above. Okay, and you can see a small one here. Looking for 40. High liquidity front running 40, but they just traded. There's 40. Wow, look at that. Okay, now look at that stop run above 40 as well. Beautiful. Yeah, I would say the read in here for me at least was a little trickier, but we in hindsight it sure is easy. You can see the volume in here, but wasn't quite sure, wasn't quite convinced here yet. Could have easily come back down here and then move back up. But overall though, we were still buy side in here until we see something different, right? Look at the selling in here, even before all of that. Right, you know, this is not it's starting, but we need to see, does this turn into distribution? Okay, and it didn't. Okay, at least and it still actually may. Look, we just came up above 40 and we came up to our level in here. We finally traded up to our level, just about. Did it even transact? Let's take a quick look. Yeah, just the best. No, it didn't transact. 43.5, and the best offer went up to it. All right, so anyway, and now we're starting to see, you know, some back and forth in here. I shouldn't say back and forth. We're still bullish until we see something different. Okay, but look at the selling coming in now. Okay, so in here, noting some of that selling, noting the pullback, noting some of the buying, we're still bullish. Okay, now do we see the distribution in here? Some selling. We're looking for potential traps in here on both sides, basically, and then here we got follow through on the buy side. Okay, now look at the selling coming in. Okay, so now is this turning into our distribution? It's looking pretty good. So, you know, it's quite a bit of selling now. You know, yeah, let's watch. Back down to 30, looking for them to trade it back down to 30, and also our 28 level here. Looking for traders to fill that liquidity there at 30. Yeah, Leroy, this is definitely like a nice kind of pop up above and then slam right back down below. And guys, I mean, understanding these areas in here, this is why, like, you know, this, I think the stops and icebergs is so valuable. Leroy is pointing to a double top. I guess this double top up here, but it's not really the double top that I'm kind of looking at here. What, or maybe you're looking at the bigger picture double top here. Yeah, maybe you're looking at that. I don't know. But the understanding like the move through here and the stop run, big stop run, right? From 0 or negative 127 on up to, you know, what was this here? 600. So that's 700 stops in here. Okay, we can turn on the stops and icebergs on chart. Let's do that just to verify this. And what we want to cover in the order flow here is the stop run. Oh, this is icebergs. Sorry. We'll put that one on here, and let's look for icebergs and stops. Okay, so here limit is 162 threshold. I'm going to take it off here. I'll tell you why later. So there it is, 779. That's huge. That's huge, right? So now let's understand the order flow up here. Okay, because you know, you don't really have much insight here. This is where this is just a beautiful indicator. It is showing you what happened in this move to the upside here through this 40 level. Okay, a lot of people got stopped out. Now, if a lot of people are getting stopped out, and we can look at, and this is another, just I love looking at this in Bookmap. I love it here. Look how we can see precisely what happened in here. Precisely. Okay, this is a stop run all the way through here. Let's take best bid and offer off as well. Okay, so little stop runs in here. Here's the big one. Okay, it was triggered in here. Okay, so kind of an odd one. I would say this is like either you know, I would say it's a larger player, but the reason being in here is the stop run was kind of triggered on this volume in here, this one right here. Okay, look at the detail in here, and then look at the stop run unfold here. Okay, so, and then it just continued on up until all of those stops were filled. Okay, so people getting slipped all the way up into that area. But usually what we see is like, maybe if you don't, let's say the red line began here up at this at 39.42. Well, then this would be like, you know, aggressive buyers, market buy orders, could be stops that, or people, you know, exiting with a market sell, or a market buy, and that's possible. But we know that these are stop orders here. That's just fact. That's the beauty of the stop iceberg indicator and MBO data from the CME. Okay, and only Rhythmic shows this. Or at least I believe it's only Rhythmic still at this point. Anyway, we see the entire stop run here and the move to the upside. If it began here at 42 and moved on up, then we would know that people are getting maybe you know, slipped in this area in here, and then filled up, you know, above 42 and above on up into 42 and 3/4. We're just looking at the details in here, but we're really understanding how these markets operate, and that's what I want to cover in here. Start to understand precisely how these markets operate. It is important to understand that, and that's a big part of our education in here, because we can show all of this here in Bookmap. It's all in here. And then you don't need to, if you're trading this, or maybe you don't want insight to this, but this is where it will add a benefit, is we can understand this move here, which was a significant move, and then we can understand what's behind it. Okay, it was stops. Okay, and that's what we want to understand in the order flow. Right, so if it stops, okay, it's most likely people exiting, right? Okay, I'm assuming that, of course, but it's like kind of empty orders in essence. It if we get sellers below it, well, sellers can take control and move it back down into these areas. So this is kind of like a vacuum in essence. It's kind of like it just went through all these orders, but then there's nothing after that. Okay? Now, just because that's true doesn't mean that's we're going to find the sellers and they're going to move it back down. Okay, this is kind of important, because we can get stop runs just like this and still have acceptance above the area, and we want to determine that, though, or ascertain that. Okay, so we can see here the sellers came in, and now the sellers moving it lower. Okay, so now at that point here, this is not trap volume. It's just a stop run, and then it did not accept above that area, and we see the sellers move it. We'd be looking for them to move it back into point of control, or most traded level in this area here, or back down to some of the swings. Okay, and you can see what happened. Okay, we traded back down to the swings. Okay, point of control of this area in here, or most traded level, would be here, and that would be around what, 32, 31 and a half. All right, and then look at the swings down here. We have a swing here, okay, which is at 28, and then we have another swing down here, which is at 26 and a half or so. Okay, we've come down there and we've bounced. All right, so now the picture is getting really interesting. Okay, now this is turning into distribution. Buyers, some sellers, buyers, sellers, sellers. Right, again, Wyckoff, right, for you Wycoffians out there. All right, just trying to clarify here, and you may, and the reason being is to, let's keep our drawings, let's clear stops and icebergs on chart, and then let's take a look at our heat map. Okay, and I want to cover Wyckoff in here because we've read these books. Wyckoff has been around for a long time, and a lot of people know who he is or was, and what his methods were. Here it is in the order flow. Okay, here's your markdown, your distribution, your markup, your distribution. All right, so now looking for, then, if that's distribution, we're looking for the sellers to take control. Okay, maybe from this point here. I don't really see them taking control here, not yet. So I'm still looking for kind of back and forth in here right now, to be honest. We see some buying in here. Okay, now structure wise, though, we made a lower high here, a lower low here, and another lower low here. Okay, back down into this area here, and then maybe you can go lower here too, like 22 and a half or so. Okay, liquidity's not there, it's at 20. Okay, but I'm looking more for like kind of 22.5 in here. Uh, Johnny, Johnny Franco, how do you get really good at this? You practice, you study, you go through our educational course, and then you come to these webinars, and then you record your data in here when you start up Bookmap in the morning, and then you know, go through the same process here, and build an edge. So understand what you're looking for in the charts here. Build your edge, and replay it too. Okay, come back and use replay mode after the market closes. You can use it on the weekends because you record your data. You can replay these files in here and practice more. Okay, determine your edge. What exactly are you looking for, and be very specific with it. You can see Scott Pulcini has a trading plan. JTrader has a very detailed trading plan. Tom B has a trading plan. So, you know, that's essential. You've got to develop your edge. Okay, so what was someone talking about in here was the, yeah, they're looking at prior open high low close, floor trader pivots, and VWAP. Great. Okay, there's their market structure. That's what they're looking at. In fact, let's put it up here, up on the chart. Okay, VWAP, we maybe also point of control. Let's just throw point of control in here too. And let's put in, I don't have any floor trader pivots, but we can also look at open high low close. Here, I'll take a look at my, thank God I got rid of that big bar in here. We'll look at the compact view. Okay. Open high low close for today or yesterday, or previous session. Let's look at less here. Okay, so well, you can see what happened. All right, so yeah, you know, let's see, that's who was it here was looking for that. Classic man. So yeah, here's your open high low close previous session, but here's your dip below it and the move back into it. Here's what it looks like on the hourly chart. Here's what it looks like on the 15-minute chart. Okay, so and then here's where the sellers took control that we marked up in here. Okay, and we said around 44, 43, somewhere around in here. I think I said 44. We came up to about 43, and just by reading and we read this move to the downside. Okay, and then we we saw the distribution. We're looking for the potential, the buyers to come in. We saw the trap. We saw the move upside. Okay, so there's your open high low close, but that's what you'd be looking for in here. This rejected. Okay, this so we want to understand the order flow around this down here. And basically what we saw in this little wick in here was some accumulation, right? And then move back into the range here from the prior session. Right, so there you go. That's understanding again order flow around some of these areas in here. Okay, VWAP is here, this white line. I'll just dim the heat map for a moment. Now my VWAP might be different than yours. I think I have it reset. Yes, you can see it. It resets here at 9:30. So anything prior is not in the calculation. So it's probably going to be different. I know that's not the way to read the VWAP. You're looking for the entire session typically. That's what I have. It might be pretty similar because of all the volume during the cash session. Usually kind of gets kind of similar to it. Okay, really, you were watching a 1 minute double top. Okay. All right, guys. So we talked about this in here. Now we're getting. We didn't really know because we did see the distribution in here. Okay, but buyers in here. We made lower highs, lower lows, slightly higher highs in here. So this is kind of confusing. But look at the sellers now. All right, so now sellers trying to drive it away from this area here. I'm actually looking to see if we can get a pullback to here. Maybe. Let's look at the heat map. No, they're going to go for 20, looks like. They kind of missed that. A bit of a difficult read in here, but you can see sellers in here. This was tough, I feel. But now we know sellers are driving it away. No, no worries, Leroy. No, thanks for the feedback in here. Guys, do you like this? I mean, we've been, kind of working our way up into this, talking about market structure, traps. We've been putting subjects on these webinars, trying to at least cover some of them before the event, and to have a little more structure to, instead of just what the market gives us, have a little more structure to it. And then just for the webinar presentation itself, but we can only take what the market gives us. So but we're when we see some of these elements unfold, then we can go through them. If you like it, give us a thumbs up in here. This is the direction that we're going to do more of if you like it. Okay, so we need to get your feedback on that. Yeah, please let us know. Yeah, okay. Thanks, guys. Moonwalker, thank you. Yep. Okay, so anyway, where do I want to leave off? Okay, so we did get our pullback. We didn't get to 20, but we got our pullback here. Still looking for 20 though. Okay, I think the volume's starting to pick up now. They're starting to move it a bit. 2017 back to VWAP basically, or was it a previous point of control? No. Okay, so yeah, back into this area here, 17 and a half, something like that. All right, so getting some feedback from you guys. You guys do like the more structure like this. Okay, so talking about who's in control, etc. We don't, I mean, we cover the columns in here quite a bit as well. I mean, I'm always looking at the columns. I'm not I like volume profile quite a bit. It's not my main way of trading though, but I kind of look at it as kind of another kind of confluence or confirmation. Yeah, something to consider. But I like looking at what Bookmap is showing me. What is the chart showing me? I think there are some drawbacks to volume profile. Whereas like this move in here, you're not going to see it in the profile. Here's your profile. Do you see this move in here? No. I mean, I don't know how it's helping so much. I'm looking for sellers, and I'm looking for them to take it into 20 and VWAP in here. Okay, just I'm lining up liquidity here with the order flow. Okay. All right, yeah. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up there, a like. I'll maybe I'll run a poll tomorrow and see what you guys like in terms of which direction here in terms of market structure, or you know, something different. Okay. All right, you guys want me to continue for individual equities? Yeah, it's the same process here. OmniFeed is excellent. DXFeed is great too. OmniFeed is I haven't played around with it yet, so I just know that it is offering uh, something really nice that DXFeed does not, which is the NYSE ARCA data. Okay, so that's really nice liquidity in those ECNs. So that's a big one. I would recommend, maybe you might want to subscribe to both and see which one you like better, if that makes sense. I know it's a cost to it, but you'll have to determine it. I don't know yet. Or come to the Discord chat and ask. That would probably be the best. Yeah. Thanks, Quasim. Would I cover deltas? Glad to help your trading though. That, and overall, it's really great to hear. I mean, we're here for you guys. We can see that this is still kind of back and forth in here. Was looking for that move into 20 in here due to this selling, but look at the buyers come in above it here. Up here. Now, it to me, it's still, boy, it's both ways here. I mean, like, look at we want to look at who's in control, right? Sellers. That's why we're looking for sellers and sellers into this. Okay, this turned into our little trap again, right in here, and buyers above it, but it can still really sell off here. In fact, it could even sell off here, but like, what I want to cover though is look at the buyers in here. That's what we want to compare, sellers versus buyers in here. Okay, now we're getting our answer. So now we're looking for and we got to look at the stop run too, and it is. Okay, but buyers starting to take it. Okay, back up into that previous stop run area. So look for 40, and then maybe we can get back up into 50, 45 and 50. Liquidity up here at 40 and at 45. Oh, you want to look at the quotes delta? Got you. Okay. Yeah, well, maybe tomorrow if you don't mind. We can add it in here. The quotes delta is the adding and pulling of liquidity in here. So it's you can see it's changing very, very quickly in here. Okay, so yeah, I have kind of a hard time reading it, to be honest. Let's see if there are any settings in here for it. Not really. Yeah, I mean, when these markets are moving like this, I find it kind of hard. There's other ways to configure these columns. I'll go over it tomorrow, I think, or yeah, tomorrow before JTrader gets in, if you like. We can look at different ways to read some of these columns in here. We can look at almost something similar to it as a COB column, and do an aggregation, and then limit that aggregation maybe for I don't know, 10, 20 levels, whatever. And then you have the overall quotes or delta up here. So here you see 2100. Down here you see how balanced it is. I mean, it's almost perfectly balanced in here, right? We're looking for it when it's imbalanced, right? That's what maybe that helps you. There are videos on this on the features and components playlist, so if you want to take a look at that, right? CVD seems to be okay. Underutilized asset. Yeah, well, we look at stops and icebergs in here. CVD, and just want to cover this, Brian. Indicators, we want to I always stress, and I think this is a very worthy thing to say, is that indicators are, they don't offer you signals, they offer a confluence, and really understand what the indicator is doing. Okay, because you will see discrepancies between what the indicator is telling us and what's actually happening in the order flow. We want to match those two together. That's when you can get something out of the indicator, but understand precisely what is it calculating, what is it displaying, how to read that, and then how does that react, or how does that merge with the price action and the order flow. And that's, of course, that's my opinion, but order flow rules is what we've seen. And this is telling you a lot. So read the order flow and then look for maybe something in here to give you additional insight. We're even doing the same with stops and icebergs. Okay, and this is a level of transparency that's amazing. Okay, Scott he's taking not a signal from here, but he's taking these stops and icebergs movements in here as an event. Okay, and that's the big event, and now he wants to understand the order flow around the big event. Okay, so that's his way of trading and looking at the markets. Guys, tricky market now. I mean, you see sellers, you see buyers, you see sellers. Okay, I thought we'd get it back up into 40 here, just couldn't do it. But we do. Yeah, we're kind of getting to that time of day here. European close just unfolded, so Quasum, yeah, if you're using a thinkorswim version, it's not MBO data, it's DX feed data even for futures. So if you want to try the MBO, you'll have to come over to get the standalone version. So you're all set right now with thinkorswim. Great. Just do this though. If you want to really check it out, try it for a month. Just try it for a month. Come to these webinars, ask questions, and then see if that's something you want to do. Right? Or maybe you just want to stick with your thinkorswim version. Right? That would probably be the best. They don't offer the MBO data rhythmic stream from thinkorswim. That's why. Okay. All right, guys, we got to go. Thanks for coming, everybody. If you like this, one last shot, give us a thumbs up there. And then we will catch up tomorrow. We'll do some live analysis with the general markets, ES, and then there will be JTrader, all about JTrader. Okay. Excellent. Thanks, guys. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.